Wolf Creek Ski Area has been in operation since the 1930s, and our family's been running it since the 1970s. The mission for Wolf Creek is to provide a good skiing experience, be accessible to the general public, and continue to grow enthusiasm for the sport of skiing. Wolf Creek's not a real estate development, it's a ski area. We don't call ourselves a resort. We believe it's all about the skiing. Part of our role as being the stewards of public land and running a business that's on public land is to not only be environmentally sensitive, but to be sensitive to the needs of the public. These long-term ideas, and what I mean by that is 10 to 20 years, are really different compared to other ski areas. I'm also really excited about our concept of having off-site parking with a shuttle service that would operate in both sides of the pass. It would be better for the environment, reduce car traffic on the pass, and it would be really convenient for our guests who are intimidated by mountain driving. We are proposing to leave the terrain natural with minimal tree cutting. This would continue to build on the ski experience that skiers have come to appreciate at Wolf Creek, but with some really exciting new areas to explore.
Well, I think if we can expand the usable terrain on the mountain, the skier density will go down and provide a better ski experience.
We're more interested in providing the service and having people come to the mountain than worrying about the bottom line. We feel that expanding the ski area would be an extension of our community services.
Wolf Creek's been working hard to come up with some ideas for skiing in the future, and we think we're at a point where we need to unveil some of these ideas, get some feedback, and see what the public thinks about these ideas.
Wolf Creek Ski Area is very committed to not build any more parking spaces. Wolf Creek's plan is to set up a system of shuttle buses from off-site parking lots located on both sides of the pass. It would reduce fuel costs. Families wouldn't have to worry about driving up the pass in poor weather. We'd be able to have you ticketed at the off-site parking sites so that when you got to the ski area, you'd basically be able to get out of the bus and hit the lift right away.
One of the big ideas is the matchless pod in the Silver Creek area, which fits nicely with the existing experience in that area with the Horseshoe Bowl and the Alberta Lift. There won't be any trails cut, and there'll be pretty minimal impact to the natural environment.
The type of skiing that you'd find in the matchless area is similar, if you're familiar with Wolf Creek, to maybe a large version of the waterfall area.
Beautiful old growth skiing, widely spaced, a lot of really intense chutes. Would add vertical to Wolf Creek Ski Area. We'd be up around 2,300 vertical.
The proposed matchless area is out of the current ski area boundary and would require expansion into the San Juan National Forest. The lift that we'd like to put back there is the matchless low capacity tram. The design only has 4 towers, which will really minimize the impact to the natural environment.
Having a closed tram in the matchless area will allow us, from a ski patrol standpoint, we can administer the care while we're transporting the patient to our medical facilities.
We'd like to include a multi-use guest and ski patrol facility at the top of the tram.
Over on the east side, the matchless pod, and then the other plan on the west side towards the top of the pass. We call that the pass pod.
The pass pod area would enhance the beginner and intermediate skiing experience off of the back of the Continental Divide. One of the benefits of the pass pod would be that it provides early season skiing.
It drops down into a lot of intermediate gentle slopes, as well as some great intermediate tree runs.
It would be north facing, complement the more traditional type of skiing that we already have on the west side.
There will be no connection to the highway to the pass pod. It'll be all accessed from the ski area side. The pass pod area is not in the ski area boundary and would require an expansion into the San Juan National Forest. One of the things we'd like to do in that area is also provide a multi-use building, which would include bathrooms and a warming hut for the skiers using that area, as well as the snowmobile and people that use the top of the pass. The ski patrol already responds to a lot of snowmobile accidents in that area. That'll help facilitate ski patrol response.
Because of our location on Wolf Creek Pass, the Wolf Creek Ski Patrol is one of the first responders anywhere on the pass. We'll work closely with a lot of the snowmobile agencies as well as the Forest Service.
One of the ideas that we're talking about with the Bonanza lift is to replace it with a detachable lift for ease of loading and unloading for beginner and intermediate skiers, as well as adjusting the alignment of the top terminal further up the ridge to connect with the pass pod.
The storm lift's a really unique idea. The knife ridge gets closed out by the storms. It's a very steep ridge, builds big cornices. People get disoriented during the storms. Right now, that part of the mountain is isolated. It doesn't get enough use. And what we would like to do is build a lift that runs only during storm cycles. It would provide skier compaction for the steeper terrain, for avalanche hazard reduction. There would be no runs cut. It would remain in the same naturally wooded state that it's in now. And as the storm abates, there'd be a time where we quit running it. You can still get to it by using the traditional method of hiking up over the staircase and along the knife ridge and still enjoying the powder that would be overused if we ran it all the time.
The Alamo lift would have three purposes. First, it would open some beginner terrain and some really nice gladed skiing terrain for intermediates. The second purpose it would serve would be to allow patrol to open the waterfall area on avalanche hazard reduction mornings. The third purpose is eliminating the long traverse out on Park Avenue, and it would also allow us to access the Alberta area in a shorter amount of time, especially in our lessons. This would allow us to get back to the base area much faster. The Meadow lift will be a short lift that'll have basically two purposes. One, it'll make the terrain to the right of the Alberta lift more accessible by eliminating the long flat traverse that the skiers and boarders have to endure just to get back to the bottom of Alberta. The beginner terrain would include two new trails and a nice meadow area that skiers and riders can use exclusively by riding the Meadow lift.
The general idea behind both the Meadow and the Elma lift is twofold. It's to complement beginner intermediate skiing and also to take care of some long traverses that we would like to get rid of.
The idea of the Sunset lift would provide access to an area that's only hikeable terrain right now near the Spooner Hill area, and it would be mostly intermediate terrain. The trails would require just minimal tree cutting. It would also include a guest services and ski patrol building at the summit.
One problem about Spooner is it's isolated from the rest of the ski area. It usually takes about a 45-minute hike to get out there. So by allowing us to have a multi-use facility out there, we'd have a duty station for patrol, but it will also allow the public to get a chance to warm up, grab a bite to eat, maybe get a drink, and enjoy their mountain experience.
One of the ideas we'd like to include is a new guest services facility at the top of the Alberta lift.
The multi-use area at the top of Alberta would be a great facility in order to allow a duty station for patrollers to work out of, as well as having a small dining room allowing skiers to come in, warm up, and they don't have to go all the way back to the base area. They can get all those amenities out here at the Alberta area.
In the future, we can see the need for additional facilities in the base area. That includes restaurant facilities and bathroom facilities. More ticketing, and certainly the sports center could use an upgrade. Wolf Creek gets an awful lot of natural snow. We need a lot of equipment to take care of the snow. Right now, we're in an old tin building, and we'd like to upgrade that and have some additional facilities. The idea behind our snowmaking is to supplement our natural snowfall. Wolf Creek obtained in the 90s water rights for 2 million gallons of snowmaking water. And right now we're only using a quarter of them. In our vision for the future, we would see building out to where we're using all of that water. We would like to put in some buried lines and supplement the natural snowfall that we get. It's only 2 million gallons, which, to put it in perspective, some ski areas use in one night. We would use that 2 million gallons over the entire season. We really appreciate your time in listening to our ideas. These are just ideas right now. We've spent a lot of time on them. Really think that they would be exciting for the public and complement us for many years into the future. As part of this process, we'd really like to get some feedback on these ideas that we're so excited about and think would be a good thing for Wolf Creek in the future.